Hi, Thomas the Tank Engine fan here. If there are any, mistakes in this or whatever, please do not bother me about this. I was rushing to get this finished, and half of it was filmed at, 3 in the morning, so, yeah. Cry about it. Firsts and lasts. Every year on Halloween, Edward tells a special tale of Sodal's haunts. Thomas, Percy, and Toby came from Tidmouth Station sheds to come hear Edward's tale. "Welcome, everyone," said Edward joyfully. Everyone listened to Edward. Edward chuckled softly. "Every Halloween evening, as you know, there is a train for transporting the children to the annual Halloween party. But a long, long time ago, there was an extra stop at Peel Godred Station for the children that lived there, and one Halloween I was to take the special train. As I made my way up to Peel, I saw two glowing circles in the distance, for the fog and smoke hid where they were coming from. As I slowly approached the station, the thing in the fog became clearer." Edward paused, ending the story. Everyone was very confused. "What was the thing?" asked Thomas. Edward gave him no answer, until he finally replied, I can't say, Thomas. The figure spirit still roams our railway. And anything you say about it, he'll go poof! They will destroy us, all of us, Thomas, and I don't want the worst to come to light," replied Edward worriedly. Everyone was very spooked. Thomas and Duck were especially afraid since they were victims of past Halloween spirits. "Is that why the line up to Peel is always closed around this time?" asked Percy agitatedly. Edward was stumped. He never realized Peel being closed. I have no idea, Percy, but maybe that's why." Percy was frantic with fear, for he thought Edward had known all of the railway's secrets. Then, the Fat Controller came to share some news. "Hello all. Today, most of you guys can chill out since the engines at Knapford Yard are going to do your work today. Except for Thomas, Gordon, and Edward. You three still have your lines to run. James, Molly will take your trains today, and Henry, Rosie, yours. Tonight, though, Percy will take the special Halloween train," the Fat Controller said with glee. Everyone groaned. "Why, Percy?" they all said at once. The Fat Controller cleared his throat. Everyone went quiet. "And tonight is the reopening of the Peel Godred Station. There will be many people there." Percy's eyes almost popped out. "What?" Percy squealed. The Fat Controller took no notice and walked off. Thomas chuckled quietly. "Well, it was nice knowing you, Percy." "Stop, Thomas!" Duck was very ashamed of Thomas. "Don't forget, Thomas, you've fallen down a mine, gone straight into water and almost ruined yourself, and almost died 2 Halloweens ago." Everyone went silent. Thomas stopped laughing. Hey, Gordon, are you ready for the express now? It's not due for another hour. Shut it. Later, Percy was getting ready for the Halloween train. He got cleaned up and oiled so he could run nicely. That's when Thomas came to tease. Percy paid him no attention and left for Tidmouth Station. During his trip, Percy would hear sounds and see little moving objects in the shadows. He tried to pay them no attention, but he couldn't. Percy came up to a point. The points led up to Peel. Percy felt very worried. He puffed over the point. He then slowly approached the hill. He vigorously worked to the top, for it was very steep for him. It quickly became foggier, and Percy felt scared. He made it to the top and could barely see the station. As he approached, he saw two red glowing lights. He instantly came to a stop. No, I can't do it. Percy's driver was cross. Come on, Percy, we're almost done. I'm too scared. No, he screamed. He forced himself to go in reverse. His driver was very shocked and tried to stop him. Percy, you're being ridiculous. Percy didn't listen and kept going backward. He sped down the hill. The passengers were very afraid. The driver and fireman jumped out of his cab. Percy leveled out and flew off the tracks. Luckily, the coach hadn't gone off as well, but nobody knew how it stayed. A bit later, Doug came with the breakdown crane. Everything will be all right, Percy, Doug tooted cheerfully. Percy sighed. At least the passengers were safe this time round. Indeed, replied Doug, remembering last year's horror story of an accident. Percy was put onto the flatbed, and they left for the party. At the party, Percy was put into a siding. Doug dropped off the passengers and left to drop off the crane. Thomas saw Percy and reached up to him. I'm really sorry about this, Percy. I don't want to talk to you. Go away. All you do is bully me. I don't want to hear it. Percy, please, just listen to me. No! Stop talking to me. Go away. Thomas looked down and puffed off sadly. Percy felt bad, but he knew what he said was right. That night at Tidmouth Station sheds, Thomas wasn't there. Toby shunted Percy into his shed. Don't worry, Percy. Thomas will be back tomorrow, Toby said, trying to cheer up Percy as much as he could. But Percy gave him no answer. He could only think about what Edward had said about the mentioning of the thing, and he hoped that Thomas was okay. Percy went to sleep.